It is time to revisit those best penny stocks to buy now. Wait until you see some of the movements that we got. It is absolutely incredible. And I will also give an update on the best stocks to buy now. Wait until you see those because they also had some pretty wild performance today as well. And we'll see what the next few days bring. I think that this could get very interesting for us in very short order. And one of them, holy cow, nearly, I'd say 2.5 times its weekly trading volume pretty much in a single day. Talked about it in my morning video this morning, so if you haven't seen it, you should go ahead and watch that one. We're going to crank through about 10 stocks in pretty darn short order, and I think you're going to be really impressed by what you see. And if you want to see the technicals on this, what I'm buying, selling, or further information, other news, other stocks, other market commentary, the link for the Discord is down in the description. Code word doctor is going to get 50% off your first month sign up for the earner tier. Let's jump over into the technicals for this. First one, Lucid, LCID, still an honorable mention at this point, not putting on the best penny stocks to buy now, but it's getting darn close. A few reasons why. One, look at the bottoms that we have off of this. We are down near all-time lows for this, and Lucid tends to rip off all of these bottoms. We tend to skyrocket, and we're sort of in a descending triangle pattern here. We'll watch and see what we get. It's not quite symmetric. We have a bearish bias to this. It would be nice to see it pump, and it absolutely could. We're starting to see volumes pick back up. Also, some other things that we're starting to see is we're seeing that price action, which has closed actually closed dead even with the 13 period EMA. We're up above the 5 EMA. And so if we can get up on top and hold on to the 5 and the 13, I'll put this onto the best penny stocks to buy now, especially if the RSI also crosses up above 50. So that's what I'm looking for, to take it from the honorable mentions list and put it up onto the best penny stocks to buy now. NNDM, welcome my friends, or welcome back, however you want to say it for NNDM. We got a strong close above the 13, above the 5. I put on the best penny stocks to buy now. RSI just crossing nicely over 52, almost 53. So in bullish territory for that one. We do have the 50 EMA to watch to the north of that we could potentially pop off this double bottom that we have right here. This could be a wild mover for us, especially as we start to see those volumes start to pick up on us. Not explosive volume like we've had in the past, but still not so bad, above average volume for NNDM. If we go out to the weekly chart just a moment, you can see the RSI still lagging behind down there, down in the bearish territory, but not oversold. And then monthly, for the monthly RSI for this one, if I can get it to load, there we go. It's rightly in that bearish territory. So no longer term trend yet, but I do just want to point out, look at the bottom wicks that we get on this so far with this monthly chart. One more stretch. There we go. You can see that buying pressure start to build, but you can also see that selling pressure up above. Whichever way this gives, it's going to give in a big direction. So that's on the bottom of the list for the best penny stocks to buy now. OCGN got bumped down a little bit because this has been on here for a while, since May the 20th, and it already has. Let me go down to the daily chart and we'll reset the view on this. There we go. We actually had the price action that I was looking for. We actually already had a wildly profitable trade coming off of this, and I said watch for that return back to $1. We've returned back to $1. So this could set up that next part, but we are down below the 5 and the 13. That got me to move it down a few ranks for this. It still is up above the 50 EMA, which is a very good thing. Put up the simple moving averages. We're up above the 200-day. We're also up above the 50 and the 20. This could absolutely turn things back around and re-advance up the list. Down about 1% today. Not so bad. It's definitely not down and out for right now, but it is one that we had to watch and see where we settle. If we hold that $1 support, we could have that higher baseline to make that next jump from, and this thing could push up closer to about $1.30, putting in about a 30% gain at least from where it's at right now. This is a stock that could easily go up over $2, 2xing from where it's at right now. It absolutely should be on the best penny stocks to buy now. The next one is the massive volume mover. This is the biggest volume in the history of the stock, BEEM. I talked about it this morning when it had about 10 million shares traded. We've doubled throughout the regular trading day today, so up over 20 million shares traded, which is about 20 times the whole entire week's trading volume, which is about 2.5 times up above the all-time high weekly trading volume for BEEM stocks. So let me put this up here so you can see it. We'll also go out to the weekly chart, and we're also going to stretch out the volume so you can really see if it helps if I actually stay on BEEM. There we go. So we're going to stretch out the volume so that you guys can appreciate this just for a moment. So this 10 million shares that I talked about, that was in the pre-market time. This is about 20 million shares traded. during the market day. So I'm actually just going to get rid of that part, about that 20 million shares. So just for the week, this week, 21.18 million. And like I said, over 20 million of that was just today. That is not Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. That is just Thursday. And that previous one, 8.59 million, was the highest week that this stock has ever seen in terms of volume. Nothing else has even come close to that. Something interesting is going on here. I took a bite into some of those shares. I might turn it into an options play. We'll see where this thing goes. Look at that. And that big red candle, don't let it fool you that this is necessarily a bearish thing. Now we're going to shrink down those volumes, and let's talk about the candles and the price action that we have here. So let's move over. We got a double bottom. Talked about it in this morning's video. We're up above the 50 EMA. We're down below the 200 SMA and probably the 200 EMA as well. So overall, it isn't a bearish trend, but we have the 5, which crossed over the 13. We have the 5 nearing the 50. We have some buying pressure coming up onto this. So we caught that support at the 5 EMA, couldn't push down through it. RSI moved nicely up above 50 on this one as well. With that sort of volume, we might have further traction here. This is another one that could easily 2x from where we're at right now. So another 100% up from where it's at, especially off this double bottom. And if it with the partnership put out there between the United Arab Emirates and BEEM Global, which is the company's name. You can see the ticker in the background there, BEEM, and that this is the daily chart. There's the 1D that you can see on that. This one could absolutely put in that move and that outperformance that puts us somewhere around the mid $3 range. So 350, 360. So that's what I'm watching for BEEM, and that's why it's on the best penny stocks to buy now. PACB putting in a 5, almost 6% day today with some decent volume on top of it, catching support at the 50 EMA, back up above the 5 and the 13. Absolutely gorgeous. All this says that we need to have support at the 50 EMA, and after we broke up above it, we came back down, retested support. We'll see where it goes from here. This one could absolutely outperform and show us that $2.16 price tag over time. So it's why I stay bullish on PACB and why it's on the list. Jumping up to QSI, to our quantum stock friends. This one popped off big time for us. It had a 14% day back on Tuesday, and then up another 7% on Wednesday. Today, closing up another 1.49%. With some pretty big indecisiveness happening here, we need a candle that's strongly up above those two. So indecision. The next one, if we trade up, it could show us that next direction, especially if we get further help from the other quantum stocks that are out there in the space. REKR has been put back onto this list because it caught some pretty good support at the 50 EMA. We crossed down below it. I took it off. I was like, well, we got our move. We made a massive trade on this one. This was either 100 or 150% profit on the trade. And then we sold off from there. I took it off the best penny stocks to buy now. But I put it back on the list. I think we could have that mover, not only because of the moving averages that we happen to be above, but also when we got to the weekly RSI, we're above 50, rightly bullish on that one and rising. That's perfect. We're nearing that 50 EMA, which is up here at $1.35. We could potentially get back up there, especially given this higher low that we have and this recent higher high, this uptrend that we've seen. It could be continuing from here. The monthly chart, sort of kind of rising at 43.64. We might be waiting a while. You can see that massive wick that we have on the top here indicating some selling pressure. But look at all the buying pressure that we got down here at these levels across several different months, across looks like at least 4 months, where you can actually see those long bottom wicks where you get that buying pressure coming in. We'll see if it can overtake the bears in this. We are currently up above the 5-month moving average. So that is, once again, an early bullish sign. And mind you, weekly chart is showing us up above the 5 and the 13 and up above the 54, the RSI. We are down below the 50 EMA on this one. So overall, the trend on this one, even if I put up the simple moving averages for a moment, we actually just barely flipped into bullish territory as we're up above this orange 200 day that you see coming across here. So not only did we catch that support at the 50 EMA, there's the support at the 50 SMA. This thing turned it back on. We could get that golden cross coming out of this, and that's why I moved up to the number 2 spot very quickly onto these charts for the best penny stocks to buy now. And then over here to BBAI, putting in the other day, going back to Tuesday, 25%, and then we retraced about 8%. Kind of hurt to see that pull back. I said, well, likely to recover that. We have so far put up another 20.5% today, and it's why it's in my number 1 spot in the best penny stocks to buy now. And I will tell you, we need to make it over 586. If we can't get over 586, that's going to be a problem. If we can get over 586, we potentially see that $10 price tag come out for this one as we're starting to get those outsized trading volumes even bigger than what we saw the last time that it made that move. That may have included a little bit of short squeezing on that. We'll see if this happens to be the case this time, or if this is more of a momentum play that we're seeing take place, which could still give us some pretty decent outperformance. Maybe we hit the 750 mark instead, which happens to be right about here. We have a bit of resistance to make it through right around 650 to 672, then 758, and then $8. Then finally, we get mega resistance right around that $10 mark for BBAI. I'm going to take a sip of water. We're going to do a quick station break here. Guys, down in the comments, let me know what you think about the best penny stocks to buy now. I do have those 3 other stocks, the best stocks to buy now. Wait until you see the movement that they made today. Most likely, they're not done. I talked about them yesterday. Had kind of a kind of day. But man, oh man, did they recover quickly, which is exactly why I kept them on and why I'm talking about them in this video. Shared it out over at the Discord, as well as my transactions, along with the other panel experts who share their news informations, their technicals, their trades, talk to the community throughout the trading day. The community is thousands of members deep, and I'll tell you what, it is wonderful to have that community there to celebrate with on the up days and to have that support there on the down days. And we show you how to build alpha in your portfolio with either direction. We use that through the use of options and technical analysis and trading using the bread recipe trading strategy. There's coursework that can teach you how to do that in the description as well through Stockmo Academy. The courses, I vetted them myself with my doctorate in education, my master's degree in instructional technology, which is exactly what I do in those fields, is look through those curricula, look through the coursework, and ensure that is the best learning experience that one can have. And that's exactly what I see in those courses. And I use that information myself in my trading, and it allows me to be successful week after week after week. You guys can check them out. Links in the description. Code word doctor is going to get you a discount, whether you sign up for the Discord or you sign up for the courses. It works either way. It does work differently though for the Discord, because that is a monthly fee. That's one that will get you 50% off your first month sign up for the earner tier. For the coursework, that is lifetime access, just paying one time. That code word doctor is going to get you a massive discount on that. And if you bundle the 2 courses together, you get an even bigger discount from that bundle with that code word doctor on top of it. And it gives you the best value that you'll find pretty much anywhere, because these courses I think are already fair valued with the way that they are, probably even a bargain with what they are. And they can return multiples and just pay dividends. And the knowledge that you gain through those courses, if you really apply that knowledge to your trading, it can really make you a much better and much more successful trader. So like I said, code word doctor works either way. Let's get into those best stocks to buy now. I got 3 more to go for you. Gonna crank through them. First one's UiPath. Look at this. Had kind of a yucky day yesterday, but we did find support at the 50 EMA today, getting a little bit of a bottle rocket. Finding that support at the 50, closing up above 5 and 13. This one could move in a very bullish way for us. We could find ourselves back near that $15 mark in very short order, potentially even higher from there. So about 20% up from where we're at right now. If that momentum can continue, the RSI on the daily chart, bullish. If we go out to weekly, bullish. If we go out to monthly, we are rising, but we are not yet in bullish territory. This could be one of those early stocks that has just been beaten up over time while a company was going through its growing pains. And you can see that we're near the bottom on this thing, which on a monthly basis, if we look at the moving averages, we are up above the 5-period moving average, the 5-month moving average. And that, if we could get on top of the 13, that can give us a lot of power up in there. You can see the selling pressure that comes in. That's why it's at the bottom of the list for the best stocks to buy now. But you should absolutely check it out. You should consider what you find there. Research the company, do your due diligence, and see, is this a trading opportunity? Is this an investing opportunity? I think that there could be some serious upside to this one. See what you see if you see what I do in this, and if so, maybe it deserves your cash. It took some of my cash. We'll see how it uses it. We'll see if it turns out to be a good trade for me. We'll see as this plays out over time. Throughout the next week or so is when I hope to see that price action take place, really see that violent movement upwards, which should give me some outperformance in my portfolio. TDOC, I'm even more excited about, up 6% today, 6.34%, pretty much engulfing the candle that came before it. So wiping out the day before's losses, putting it all back. And guys, here's why it's number 2 on the list, is because we're up above the 5, the 50, and the 13. That 13 is almost ready to cross the 50. When that 13 crosses up above the 50, that's very, very bullish. This thing could very easily 2x from where it's at right now, or close to it, I should say. It could take us up to, we'll say 85-ish%. up to about $15 per share. And this move alone could take us up north of $9 per share, which isn't so darn bad. That's at least 10%, 10 to 15% in pretty quick order, up to potentially 80% return just from the shares. And if you use options, you can get an even bigger return out of that. The RSI at 61.91, so almost 62. That's perfect. On a weekly basis, almost ripe to cross over. And also look at that volume and look at that pickle there up above the 5 and the 13. If we get this to cross, we could get that longer term trend, which could signal that we're going to see some longer term price appreciation. And then also for the monthly chart, man, this thing is weak right now. It is down at 34 and just showing the earliest signs of a rise. I want to overtake this previous peak, 35.17. We're at 34.22. If we put in a good month in June and July, maybe we can start calling that an actual rise going into August or something. But this is a monthly chart. It's going to take a while to play out. But so far, we're getting good signals from the daily and weekly charts that this could be a longer term trend taking place. Then it's up to convincing the monthly chart that we are really starting to see that longer term trend. And I think that telehealth, especially as healthcare prices and stuff get wildly out of control, if they move to what I see in my own workplace is that teledoc actually has been used with the local hospital to provide us some better discounted healthcare versus just going in and seeing the doctor and making it an office visit. We save a ton of cash. And I don't really know how it works out in the back end of that, but Teladoc stands as the beneficiary, at least from a stock market standpoint. From a publicly traded company, that should fill out into the revenues, and hopefully it translates to the bottom line and gets them out of this bottoming zone that they happen to be in right now. Because man, oh man, this thing got beat up. At one point in time, trading up over $300 per share, now trading down all the way at $8 per share. So even if this thing does make it up to that $15 peak that we see over here, that's still nothing compared to what it traded at. Now, mind you, that was during the pandemic era. I don't know that this is a $300 stock, but I do believe that we're going to come up off this bottom consolidation, and it probably should be pretty violent when we do. APLD, 7.5% at the top of my list. Taking a nice little bounce on this one. And someone did comment about being partnered up with CoreWeave and then losing that partnership with CoreWeave, or that investment from CoreWeave. And, that hurts. And that's why we saw that rapid rise. Yay, CoreWeave, and then boo, CoreWeave. And that's why we rip right back down. From a technical standpoint, we might still have legs for APLD. We'll have to see. On a daily basis, we got to get up above the 5 and the 13. We were all right the day before that. Yesterday getting stopped at the 13. Today back up to the 13. We need to sit on top of that 13 period moving average. The RSI taking a nice bounce off of 50. Would be nice if we had a slightly stronger day today. Green candle wise, down a little bit lower, up a little bit higher for a true engulfing of the previous day's candle. If we go out to the weekly chart, ripely in bullish territory. If we go out to the monthly chart, also ripely in bullish territory, but we are also in a spot where we get some pretty significant selling pressure. So we'll see if this is one that can hold out over time, having a nice little recovery today. And if we take a look to see, we actually came down to the support zone that I have on here. We do have resistance that happens to be not only from what's over here with the moving averages that gave us resistance, but also up here for Fibonacci extension and retracement resistance starting at 1083 and going all the way up until 1126. If we're able to get back on top of those moving averages, we might have enough momentum to push through that and start to show these values up here closer in the mid 12s up into the $14 range from the last time that we had that excitement. Maybe this thing grows some legs and keeps on moving from where we're at right now. So guys, let me know what you think of the best penny stocks to buy now. I think I listed off 7 different companies, one of which was the honorable mention, and then also 3 of the best stocks to buy now. What do you think? Do they deserve to be on this list? Are there other ones that I haven't talked about that should be on these lists? I'd love to hear from you using the link, using the comments section. And then also, I'd really, really love to hear from you over at the Discord. Be part of the community. Be part of the party that's over there. Learn how to build alpha in your portfolios. Learn how to pursue that financial freedom through those long-term investment strategies as well. And then also that coursework through Stockmo Academy. Go ahead and check that out. That can help you to be a better technical trader and options trader as well. Guys, thank you for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. And we'll see you next video.